We've been bullish on crypto. We saw that we said, 20,000, a lot of money coming into it in terms of institutions. And now we're seeing it get wrecked where FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried is a very outspoken 30-year-old multi-billionaire going out there saying, people call him next Warren Buffett. He says he's going to take over Goldman Sachs. He's the second leading donor in the Democratic Party. And he actually said, I'm going to donate $1 billion. And then he's like, he pulled back. He's just like this arrogant kid that was actually seen as a savior, buying all these assets when they were down and saying this guy could be the next Warren Buffett or whatever, right? I love when people say that, 30-year-old. But the fact remains to me, FTX, and you followed Twitter and you were saying, a lot of people were kind of like calling him out on this. I think this is a major surprise. This didn't happen with FTX being bailed out. And as we know, FTX looks like, they could be insolvent and they're having liquidity problems, which came out of nowhere. FTX and Binance were the two companies that are actually purchasing a lot of cheap crypto assets at a very, very good time. And FTX, I mean, if you look at the deals that they did, Daniel, it was huge. It was like they acquired LedgerX in 2021. They also acquired Blockfolio. They took a 7.6% stake in Robinhood. This is like, in July. They also bought Voyager when it was in bankruptcy and took over their assets. They handed BlockFi $250 million revolving credit lifeline. I believe they signed a big deal with Scaramucci, which that's a $12 or $10 billion fund, probably less than that with crypto getting nailed. And I've interviewed Scaramucci, but they partnered with FTX. It has, a lot of legs, this thing. And I think it came as a huge surprise. I don't think anyone saw it coming because this didn't happen when crypto went from 65 to 20 and you saw like all the lending blow up recently, Celsius and all that stuff. To happen now in the last 3 months, we're kind of like, Bitcoin's found a bottom, went from 18, 21, whatever, back and forth, but it was less volatile than the overall market, which was a huge positive. This is a big blow to crypto, I think. I really do. I mean, you're looking at the second largest next to Binance, and now Binance is going to purchase FTX assets. It's not a done deal yet, but obviously if they're illiquid, they could purchase them for 5 cents on the dollar, which is going to be a great deal for them. They're not leveraged. Binance is a much, much better place. But it just, again, you're looking at one of the largest guys, a face of the brand here who's been on front covers, blowing up like this. And when I look at Galaxy Digital and Novogratz as well, Novogratz is like a gun in the U.S. markets. He knows everything within crypto. He came out about 2.5 months ago and said, listen, a lot of liquidity, a lot of damage is already done. He didn't see this coming. They have like not a lot of exposure, 40, 50 million they're probably going to lose on it, which is not a lot in the scheme of things for that company. But this was a very, very big surprise, and a lot of people didn't see it coming. And I think when we're going to see the effects of this, I don't think we're done where you're going to see a lot of people come out and say that they had exposure to FTX and loans and going through the books and stuff like that. And who knows what's going to happen with Binance in this deal.
It remains to be seen. There's so much speculation because we don't have a whole lot of data to go off, and who knows, the due diligence is going on between Binance and FTX right now. What will be key to me is, were they having, to your point, when they're not blowing up when crypto fell from 70-ish to 20-ish, or even below that. I think it dipped into 16 or 17 before stabilizing between 18 and 20. Then he starts doing all these deals. And what was interesting is that he starts bailing out, for lack of a better word, these companies, but not during their bankruptcy. He kind of stepped in as things were going down and continued to go down. I say all that because now he's having trouble. Something obviously triggered this event. Was it the recent deals he did, or was it past deals that are just now for some reason coming to light from the crash from 70 down to 20 and below? I don't know. That is the big key to me here. We were kind of disagreeing off camera. I don't have a problem with this. Sucks because it is bad for the industry. Galaxy Digital tanked. I bought some more of that stock yesterday when the crypto route was going. They came out with earnings. Nothing. I mean, they were okay. There's some pockets to point to there, but nothing glamoring in the side of a crypto crash. So that's what I want to see. I want to see, hey, what actually blew up? We're going to have to wait for time and all this. I think this is a black eye to the industry. I think that regulators are going to take this and run with it too far like they always do. I'm worried from that sense, but in the big picture, this doesn't change the big coins to me. This doesn't change Bitcoin and Ethereum. It doesn't change Binance to me at all. I would actually like to talk about how he's handling it. I think it's amazing. I know you kind of, I don't know if you disagree with that or the way he's doing it, but this is just part of it, and it sucks. It's volatile, but I don't think this changes anything in the big picture for the big dogs.
I like CZ and how he's handling it. we need regulation in this industry. When I look at crypto, this is where all the innovation is coming from. I've said that numerous times. I think it's just a matter of time before we go to the metaverse. People really understand it. I know you're looking at Meta thinking, holy shit, they're wasting money now that they're cutting jobs in that division. But when you look at what the metaverse is, an ownership of your content, creativity, people not working for, the Roblox and, the Fortnites, which is Epic, and the Facebooks, and creating all this stuff, and Facebook owns it. This is your chance to own your own stuff, own creativity, build, sell stuff, and provide a better experience just through your phone, right? It's just like TikTok provides a better experience, right? That's what it's going to be going forward. And there are great companies out there that are doing this, which are open source, right? Not closed where, Facebook and a lot of these other companies are, which are just basically virtual platforms where money filters into them. You're looking at just, in terms of regulation and having, I bring up, a lot of people are familiar with Waze, right? That's the app where if you're not familiar with it, you should, because you could just, put it on your phone and then, it goes right to your car, and everyone is this massive community telling you where all the cops are and everything. And then to basically, it's great. It's absolutely fantastic, right? So everyone's together, and that's DAO, right? So you have everybody working together, and it's like governance, right? Where it's not just decided by a board of directors whose their best interest is to make as much money as possible. They don't really give a shit about everybody else. That's a major change that's coming. You're looking at decentralization, where just eliminating the middleman, but you can't be total decentralized, right? Because this is what happens when you need to know the numbers. The government needs to fucking come out already and regulate this industry, okay? Because when you do, it's going to explode. Because when you have shit like this, and it's pissing me off that, these 30-year-olds and these shitty guys are just, it destroys something where it's going to have now the regular person is doubting crypto already and nervous about it. And this adds to that. So you said it's not going to be a difference or a change. It is, to me, a major change. It has a lot of people who are thinking about coming into crypto and allocating Bitcoin or Ethereum to their portfolio, which they're going to have access to in their 401ks for the first time, saying, holy shit, all I hear is all like seizures, a $3 billion seizure on Silk Road the other day. Now we hear this blowing up. We just heard about all these other lenders blowing up. We can't see the financials of a lot of these things. There are great companies that we're talking to that are unbelievable, that are much more transparent. When I can look at the books, and that's how I know to invest in them. We need this available. We need this system available in order for this industry to take off, because this is a massive industry. You have brilliant minds in it. But it's just when you have this arrogance and something works and these people don't know how to protect themselves and they're so leveraged through the roof, where, CZ and Binance, it puts them in a position where this is a token. These are utility tokens. Binance has the biggest utility features of a token. That's the value of it. It's not an equity token. So Binance gets bought by Microsoft for $50 billion, you don't get anything owning the Binance token, right? Just means more people may come to the platform and use it, but it's based on the utility where you could use it to reduce trading fees, and they have, hundreds and hundreds of ways you could use that token, right? That's the value of it. If you lose that value, these things are worthless. But we need to see the numbers behind this. We really do. And the fact that we still can't, and something like this comes up where, FTX, again, here's a company that's buying assets, Daniel. That's going out right now for the past 3, 4, 5 months, even past year, buying assets. Guys on the front cover saying everything's cool, being compared to Warren Buffett, saying I'm going to buy Goldman Sachs and all this shit, right? This arrogant kid. And when you're out there acquiring assets and making deals with people, and now you don't have the liquidity within your token where it's very easy to just see a big run on it, and you're not able to understand that, you're an M&T grad that is probably brilliant when it comes to computers and systems. When it comes to Wall Street, they eat you. You'll be left naked on the street with a sock. They'll take the sock from you. That's Wall Street, right? So whenever they see a little kink in the arm, that's it, you're done. But to see this happen right now, to me, it's very disappointing. I think it's going to discourage a lot more people going into Bitcoin, going into Ethereum. And, this is where the innovation is taking place. Hopefully the SEC comes out and does something, because they're always late to the party. They always do shit. They always punish the wrong people. They're financed by, the major companies in the world. And it's very, very frustrating that it's been this long. It was a $3 trillion industry. It's under $1 trillion now. And still, you haven't regulated this industry. What the hell is stopping you? What the hell are you waiting for? Why isn't this happening? Could you answer that question for you? Why? Why won't they regulate this industry? Why won't they put a set of rules in place? If
I have to put on that hat and speculate, I just think that it's because they don't want to put it in a box yet. They want to still figure it out. I will push back some, though. If you don't buy Bitcoin or Ethereum based on this, okay, I don't think that's the big percentage of the people, really. This is just, and again, we have to wait to find out what's on the details. But if this just is some mainstream media glamour guy that is a bad deal maker that made a bunch of deals. He went over leverage. I mean, that happens. I don't think the irony in crypto is it's decentralization and all that. And I know it's moving towards that way. It's still controlled by a handful of big players, or whales as they call them in this space, just like money's controlled by other. I mean, that's kind of odd. I know it's going in that direction, but I got to push back. I just don't think, like I said, he's a deal maker. The mainstream media made him up to be a lot more successful than what he is. It's always been the case. You've never been able to look at anything and figure out a whole lot of transparency. I don't know why a lot of leaders don't step up and just start being transparent. CZ is taken to Twitter, the head of Binance, saying that they're going to be more transparent on reserves and insurance things and all that. That's great, but what's waiting you? It's just like the tax argument. If you're a gazillionaire and you're always on the table like Warren Buffett, who I respect, saying he ought to pay more in taxes, what's causing you from writing a check to the Treasury? Lead by example.
Yeah.
So I'm not, again, I would just disagree on that. If the people out there that were thinking of buying Bitcoin or Ethereum and aren't because of this, I would be shocked if that was a huge percentage of people, but I could be dead wrong.
So you're not surprised at this?
Oh, I didn't say it doesn't. It's a blowout. It's a major leverage blowout. It's one of the largest exchanges. Of course, it surprises me.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think it's the end of anything. No. I said,
no, it's not the end of anything.
This is just a rocket ship guy. This is just another.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying either.
Basically, snake oil salesman. I don't want to say that yet because I don't know the details, so we got to back off there. But obviously, the guy is not near as good at running his exchange or making deals as he was perceived to be because he just blew up.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you're making deals, that you are acquiring assets at a time where you really,
But that's the situation. Mark Zuckerberg is a one and only decision to just blow billions and billions of dollars on the metaverse. Stock drops.
He has.
That's what happens.
Billions that he has, though. We're talking about a company that's insolvent.
But I'm just saying,
like Facebook isn't insolvent. They just make maybe he pushed it to
Meta
a little too far.
You're a hedge fund manager. Anybody can blow up. I'm just saying, one guy making big decisions, running it, and then blows up is not anything new. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah, we can agree. We got a whole good theme of agreeing to disagree. Yeah,
agreeing and disagreeing. But for me, it's just, I mean, this it was a surprise. It doesn't mean that, it just, for me, you need clarity here. And even the people that I talk to in the young entrepreneurs in this space, like I tell them, I was like, just look, you have investors. These are people, if you do right by them, they're going to follow you in every endeavor. And when you're an entrepreneur, it's not just one company, it's two companies. It's, you're going to be, always an entrepreneur, and these people will follow you forever and write you a check without even reading anything about you because you made the money in the past. So don't ever screw them. And these people are bringing like these individual investors and also funds. And for me, when I see this, especially with young companies, I'm like, just be transparent, give away equity. You know what I mean? You want these people to participate in your growth. You want that, right? I mean, these people supporting you from the beginning. These are people that you want to help. That's how I always thought about it, and that's how you should think about it. But and I interviewed Hester Pierce, who is, commissioner of Securities Exchange Commission, on this podcast, and over a year ago, I think, probably a little over a year ago. And she was telling me, like, she's for more regulation. They have to get smarter people in to understand this, but it just keeps going and going and going when you're not seeing it. And then, all you have on CNBC is, let's destroy, because they, half the story or whatever, let's just destroy it. I think this is definitely a setback. It's a setback that didn't need to happen, but again, I think Binance right now, none of that token is a steal, but they are in a position to buy amazing assets for dirt cheap. And that's what they're going to do with this. This isn't a done deal, them buying FTX, but you have to look at what FTX has exposure to. I know Scaramucci and his fund, I like to see how much exposure is there because I know he was getting wrecked already. A lot of people getting wrecked in crypto, but there's more exposure than what people know.